What's going on, boys? Thanks to our patrons and Fiverr customers, subscribe to our Patreon free for behind the scenes stuff, arm yourselves, life stuff. I actually started this video a few hours ago, but there are some things you can't just let lie, and I needed to do even more work shit. So I'm tired, demoralized, aggravated, and this video is going to be even less structured than it would have been, but bear with me. Or don't, because this entire video is essentially bitching about work things in an analytical way. My nonprofit is working on a big move, a big change in the way we do things. And I was denied my raise for that reason because we're going to need funds to make all this shit happen. And although I was frustrated, I didn't make a huge stink because if we can push these changes through and make all these big changes, then we'll be structured in an organizational way, or as an organization. I might be able to bring in enough revenue for us. I can get us into a sustainable spot financially and earn my raise, which is frustrating because it's not my decision the way we've been doing things. I've been carrying out my directives as best I can and not pushing people on things. And if those decisions, those people's decisions, don't make money, it's their fault, not mine. Your losing money shouldn't, in a just world, interfere with my earning my money. But I get it, and although I'm not happy about it, although I need the money now, well, actually, it's funny because you're listening to this on my YouTube channel. You know exactly why I need a lot more money right now. But okay. I don't mind sacrificing a bit more for longer term gain. But one of the things I've learned is people control large numbers of people very easily using promises. A promise is a check you can use to pay for work, you can use to pay for materials, you can use to pay for anything, you can use to get anyone to do anything, and you never have to cash it. The last few years professionally, all I've done is work on the idea I might get something later and then not get that thing. If someone promises you something, get it in writing. And once you have it in writing, if you need approval for something, like you're a nonprofit, which operates like a democracy, when democracy is a terrible way of doing things, get it approved, get it voted on, get that in writing. Because if I've learned anything, it's that unless you have it in writing or you have it in your hand, then you aren't getting it. If anybody, even the people closest to you, tell you you're going to get something, they are lying to you. Always. There is not a situation someone makes good on a promise. And I'm really stupid. Hit my head, put my pants on backwards, stupid. Because I don't learn that lesson. Every time someone promises me something, I try to find reasons it's in their interest to make good on a promise, so I can trust that because people are ultimately self-interested. But what I've learned, another thing I've learned, is people are ultimately self-interested, but self-interest doesn't mean good for them. In most cases, it seems like, people's self-interest involves hurting themselves and everyone around them. You can't trust people to do what's good for them because they don't know what's good for them. Self-interest isn't what's good for them. Self-interest is just getting what they want at the expense of other people. And again, what they want might be, and in fact almost always is, going to harm them also. So it's stupid. There is no There is nothing that you can really bank on other than the fact people are going to make bad decisions and hurt themselves and others. That's the one thing you can trust. You can't even trust people wanting the best for themselves. Anyway, we are we're 2 days away from going ahead with all these changes. The changes I'm not fussing about my salary over, even though I should. And thus far, everybody's been, if not gung ho, then positive, wanting to make these changes. And now, 2 days away, and this is this isn't something we can overcome a roadblock and then make a decision next week. We have to make a decision on this day that we've scheduled. We have to. This is our chance. If we don't take it, it's gone. And we aren't going to get another chance like this. And as it stands, the way we do things, we have enough money to survive continuing to do things the way we do things, and provided nothing catastrophically bad happens for maybe 2 years. Now, these changes are going to are going to change it up, so we'd only be able to survive financially for 1 year for certain, but we stand to gain everything. We aren't making any money. Well, we're making a little money right now, but not really. Because it's like websites. Who's going to use a small or invest themselves and their money heavily into, let's say, a small social media platform that has no backing, nobody's using it really, when they could just use something like Reddit or YouTube or Twitter or whatever? They're not going to do it. They're going to go to the big fish. So with charitable organizations, who's going to donate to a small nothing charity when they could donate to one of the big ones, the prestigious ones? This is our opportunity to get to the big boys table. We aren't really one of the big boys, but once you're at that table, you can start dealing in big boy shit and start earning big boy money. And now, all of a sudden, nobody wants to do it. Now, everybody is finding every reason not to do it. And that's one of the problems with our organization. It's always been a problem with our organization, is people find every reason not to do something. So we don't do anything. And I'm not allowed to pursue anything because it's a dumb shit democracy, and I'm not allowed to move or to work without approval, and then everybody is confused about why nothing is happening. And that's happening right now. We're about to fumble our one chance to be something, to do something, to get ourselves into a position we can survive. And they don't want to do it because it's too much work. Even if nobody else is, I am personally and financially invested in seeing this organization succeed. The barrier between your work-life balance is rapidly disappearing. And I don't mind that because I like my job. I believe in what we do, and whether or not our organization succeeds, working with this organization, I'm learning the life skills I want to learn. Not just to benefit me in a professional capacity, but also in a personal capacity. As a kid, I never thought I had the makings of a leader. And it turns out I do, and I'm becoming a better one as time goes on. I'm willing to do all the work. And not only am I willing to do it, but I can do it. And that's what I've spent the last few hours doing. Is I was asked, it's funny, it's like people want to commit suicide. It seems like people don't want things to succeed sometimes, and I don't know why that is. Why are you participating in an organization if you don't want to see it succeed? I was asked not to put together extensive plans until we vote and get this going. And now nobody wants to do it because they think it can't be done because we haven't put together a plan. So that's what I spent the last few hours doing, is putting together multiple thorough cocksucker fucking plans. Because that's what I do. See, another thing I've learned is people, and this is not just in a professional setting, this is everywhere. Everybody wants the power to have a say in what happens, but nobody wants to do anything. And that alone wouldn't be so bad because you could tell them to go fuck themselves and do it anyway. It's different when you're in a dipshit democracy and these people do have a say, and they they have the power. These losers who don't do anything have the power to tell you, a motivated individual who wants to see this organization succeed, not to let it succeed, not to work. And I don't know why that is. Is it this little petty cocksucker power thing? You're such a loser, it's not enough to be a loser. You can't let anyone else try to succeed. Because if anybody succeeded, then you'd really look like a loser. So it's in your best interest to block anybody from proving what you are. I thought the entire point of nonprofit boards was to let you feel like a winner, feel like a moral person, feel like somebody who's active and does things without actually having to do anything. Anyway, I put together all of these plans and I designed them in such a way so nobody needs to be involved if they don't want to be. I can handle everything. There are a few things I'd need help with, but if they don't want to do it, I have plans to get volunteers involved, outside volunteers involved, to get all this shit done. Or, if you don't want to do that, there are ways we can do it and pay for it, and it wouldn't be very expensive. And I even outlined ways we could pay for it without having to dip into our actual funds. We could do, matching work. People in the nonprofit sphere in my area are aware of who I am and what I do. A number of people like the work I do. I'm happy to help them with projects, this or that. Because we're a 501c3, you can pull tax bullshittery to get people to pay for things because it'll help them in tax ways. There's so many ways we could make this happen. And nobody would need to do anything. It's all outlined. I'm upset because this is what we've been building toward. And frankly, it's a miracle we're actually here. I thought we'd never get to this point. It is a great fortune that we've been given this opportunity. And they're going to fumble it. 2 days out, they're going to fumble it. And then you get into the personal side. It hurts not feeling supported. Doing everything you can to make other people feel supported and then not receiving it. And that's another thing I've learned about life. It's ironic that I learned this at a nonprofit, but you shouldn't help people. Oh, okay. If you're going to help someone, then you need to help them with the understanding not only are they not going to do anything to help you in your time of need, they're probably going to stab you. So, no solution, no salvation. If you want to do something, then you need to do it with the understanding that you'll pay for it. You will pay for trying to help people in the worst way possible. And maybe you should still try to help people, but extending your help and care to people is not something you should include in your strategy plans. Force is the only way to make anyone do anything. Smaller example, still connected, or maybe it's not connected. Right now, I really don't care. Someone came to us needing help with one of their friends. I tried very hard to make that happen. I sent them to where they were supposed to go. They didn't do that. Then they tried to embarrass me by acting like I didn't, so I had to clarify that I am doing what I'm supposed to do. This is the official way we're supposed to do things, but it's within my power now, because again, I was under the impression they had gone through the official channels. They hadn't. It's within my power to help in a smaller way within these confines. All you need to do is talk to me. They didn't talk to me. They didn't do anything. Then I hear through the grapevine that they're shit talking me. That I'm bullying them, that I'm refusing to help them. And again, I haven't heard from them. So what do? Because why do you even bother? Why do you even try? Why don't you be as shitty as people will make you out to be when you're trying to help them? So I hunted this person down, found them, and not exactly confronted them, but imposed some goodwill on them. Your friend wants help? All I need you or your friend to do right now is give me 4 pieces of information. That's all you have to do, and I've highlighted it. So, fill in this information, and I'll start the process for you. And they refused to do it. They took the paper, and then they refused to do it, and they promised they'd get it back to me. And then they didn't. And then what do I find out happens later? They've gone to somebody else, and they're getting help from somebody else, and they're shit-talking me even more. And the funny thing is, this individual is actually one of my mother's associates. Not in a business sense, I guess they know each other through something or other. But then my mother starts giving me shit over it. And won't stop. Won't drop it. I've explained the situation, and by the end it got to the point it was so obvious what was going on. She couldn't pressure me with it that way, but now she's been giving me the cold shoulder. Like I didn't help her friend out. I tried. You can see I've tried. I've proven it to you. I've tried very hard. And I'm an asshole. I can't... 4 pieces of information. Not even paperwork or anything. You just need to write some things down. I'll do all the rest. And you can't do that, or you won't do that. And I'm the asshole. And an event like this isn't especially uncommon with my work, but it's never like this. It's more like you do everything properly, officially, and then they don't uphold their end. Like that, it might have been I think it was 2 years ago now, that woman and her daughter and the housing thing. I set all that up, and then she didn't follow up. And stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff like that. But the reason I bring that up is in these instances, you can prove what's happening. In this case, because this wasn't like a one-time or like a week-long event. We've been trying to get this done for months now. And it's so odd the way this has happened. Who for months asks for things publicly and then is totally, utterly radio silent about getting it? What is that? This feels like some kind of tactic but people are stupid, so maybe it isn't. I don't know what happened. I'm still at a loss for what happened. And even though I managed to put together a paper trail proving my innocence, essentially, I'm still the sack of shit for it. And it's. You can't. I would love to go outside the rules and to make things happen, but there are legal reasons you can't do that. And there are safeties in check that would prevent me from doing certain things, whether I was prepared to go outside the rules or not. I can't. It's not just legally dangerous, I can't. And another reason zero tolerance is, it's not, when I say zero tolerance, I don't mean destroying everything that's outside what you agree with. I mean learning not even to waste the cognition on certain things. Reasoning with people being one of them. This is going back to the nonprofit organizational evolution thing. If you've been doing, let's say you're trying to get into a door, and for the last 6 years, you've been punching the door, and it hasn't been opening. You can't reason with a person who thinks continuing to punch the door will make it open. Even when you have a key, even when you stick the key into the door and open it to show them that a key will open it, and they still don't want to do the key, they want to keep punching the door. You can't reason with a person like that. And for some reason, that's the way most people seem to operate. And I don't know why that is. You ever have these moments, you sit down and you look at the world and you consider how hard of a time stupid you has understanding basic things or essential things or meeting needs. How complicated is this? How stupid are you for not being able to understand them? And then you look at a door puncher and recognize they must be meeting all of these legal needs, adulthood needs. How is a person like that able to do things you struggle with while being unable to recognize continuing to punch a door isn't going to open it? What's going on there? Like, is there like a paperwork fairy who flies around and handles everybody but use shit for them? What's going on? All of this is probably one of the reasons I'm so obsessed with order, structure, guidelines, record keeping, paper trails, contracts, and so on, because without them, people are incapable of being responsible, they're incapable of being decent, they're incapable of following the rules they set for themselves. They're animals. That's one of the reasons I have come to admire scammers, con artists, people who make money or invent and then make money on these trends. I used to resent them for it. I used to hate them for it, and I still do. I still do hate them. But what other interaction are you supposed to have with people? It seems like your options are fuck them or get fucked by them. And why are you, or why do people hold other people to standards they won't uphold themselves? I don't understand how we managed as a species to put people in space or put a man on the moon. I don't understand how we flip a switch and infrastructure's maintained well enough for the lights to come on. Humans are not capable of that. of that level of organization, at least when they're the ones making decisions. So, knowing that, who's actually in charge? Who has the power to make a species like humanity do things that need to get done? Things they would not do of their own volition. Who does it? Who organizes it? And how do they organize it? How do I learn from them? How do I join that class of people? How does anything get done? You know, I still hate the sort of person who goes in wildly swinging with zero plan whatsoever, with no foundation built up, but at least these sorts of people are doing something. They're not just getting in the way. They're not just fucking everything up. They're not just stabbing one another. It's all so tiring. I'm thankful things aren't worse, and I just took a cleansing, recentering piss, and it reminded me of that sentiment I came up with. You should try to enjoy today as much as possible, what you have right now as much as possible, because tomorrow is going to be worse, and tomorrow you probably won't have what you have right now. So right now is the last best day you're ever going to have. And that's a little comforting, but I don't know what's going to come next. What do I need to do to make the world cooperate with me? I'm thankful it's right now cooperating as much as it is. I'm not homeless, I'm not limbless, but I'll probably end up homeless and limbless, or the equivalent, later. What needs to happen to make things start going upward? Or is this all connected with that decline we've been focusing on lately? Is there some cosmic impossibility of an upswing, a really big upswing, during a decline? I don't know. I'm calmed down a little more now, so maybe we'll wrap it up here. But what am I missing? For things to feel this way and to turn out this way, I must be missing something about the world, or misunderstanding something about the world. What does Joe Dipshit have or know that I don't know? If I have some kind of agent assigned to me, hi, can you please hire me now? Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.